So let's dive into the biggest lie told about new Cowboys defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus. Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Mauricio Rodriguez here at A to Z Sports Dallas. We are talking about one of the biggest additions the Cowboys could have made this offseason, and that is defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus. Specifically, we're going to dive into the biggest lie told about him, and let me start off by saying I've fallen into the trap of even buying into that lie, but today we're clearing it up, and then we're getting into the true biggest difference about this specifically. And I am talking about his blitzing habits. Stop me if you've heard this before, but Matt Eberflus has been said to just be opposed to blitzing. And considering the Cowboys have had Dan Quinn and Mike Zimmer in recent years, that tells you, oh, the Cowboys defense is going to look totally different under Eberflus because he's going to be much more static. He's going to be much more conservative. Blah, blah, blah. Now, I don't think it is totally unfair to buy into that narrative because if you look at the numbers from his years as defensive coordinator for the Indianapolis Colts, you will see, well, he didn't like to blitz because when he was in that position, his defense is ranked 29th, 27th, 31st, and 29th in blitz rate according to Pro Football Reference. But here's what I failed to realize and what I think many people did as well. Before he was fired as the Chicago Bears head coach, Matt Eberflus' defense actually ranked 9th in the league in blitz rate. And even if you filter out the run plays, he's still ranked 12th in the league in blitz rate, and that's according to Match Quarters. Now, I told you we were going to get into the true difference of Eberflus' defense, and I think it's how he blitzes. You see, relatively, Dan Quinn and Mike Zimmer were willing to send 6 defenders or 7 defenders or more after the quarterback. But just about every time that Matt Eberflus called a blitz, it was only 5 defenders. In fact, the exact number was 74% of his blitzes were only 5 defenders, and that was 4th in the NFL. Not once did the Chicago Bears send 7 defenders or more after the quarterback in a blitz, while the Cowboys did that around at a 4% clip. And as far as 6 defenders, they did it at around 17%, while the Bears set around 11%. In other words, Eberflus was quote unquote safer when blitzing the quarterback, whereas Dan Quinn and Mike Zimmer were a little bit more willing to gamble. And I think that is also reflected in the way that Eberflus plays coverage behind his blitzes, which is a lot of zone, while the Cowboys, with both Quinn and Zimmer, played a ton of man coverage. To wrap this all up, here is the big takeaway though. Matt Eberflus will have to adapt to what he's got on his team. I think he will want to be a little bit more aggressive with the blitzes because he's got Micah Parsons. In Chicago, he was very successful using stunts in their defensive line, but he didn't do it as often. I think you want to do it with the talent that you've got in Dallas. So let's just trust what he's got and don't think for a second that Matt Eberflus is afraid to blitz. He isn't. It just might look a little bit different.